Hi there everybody, welcome to the first ever episode of RCing Around. My name is Mike, hi, and this is just an introductory video just showing what this channel is going to be about in the future, what you can expect, and then since you're joining me in my humble abode, my little one-room cottage, just a little tour and showing you my collection. I have about 14 RC cars at the moment, cars and trucks that is, including one I've recently retired because it was a piece of crap. I am the sort of cartoon person at the start of the opening credits, or whatever you want to call them, who's wearing the blue hoodie. The other person is going to be Matthew, who is the Justin Bieber looking freak on the opening credits, and he's my sister's fiance, and he'll also be heavily involved in this channel, but I'll be doing most of the legwork for the video editing and that sort of stuff. He's just lazy, he doesn't do anything. Right, first things first, RCing Around, what's it all about? Well, just what it sounds like, RCing Around with RC. It's all about having a laugh, isn't it, really? The whole hobby. I know some people like to put shelfers and things, have them really nice on display and things, and I respect that, but that's not what it is to us. It's all about having a laugh, making memories. We'll be doing lots of stuff, both indoors and outdoors, off-road and on-road, lots of different things. We'll be doing some projects as well, not like the huge budget stuff that you'll see on the likes of RC Adventures with DJ Medic. I love that channel, don't get me wrong, a lot of people do, I know. Some of his stuff is incredible, but it's very expensive. Some of the stuff he makes are worth thousands of pounds, or Canadian dollars in his case. Not really the sort of thing we'll be at. We were talking more down to earth stuff. The sort of stuff I hope that more people like you can relate to. Where shall we begin? Oh, how about saying, for those of you of an American disposition, my accent is Scottish, that's why I sound strange. This channel's based in Scotland, most of us are Scottish. Apart from myself and Matthew, we have Jackie, that's my sister, Rachel, my girlfriend, and a few other friends as well. And we'll also be working in conjunction with Alan, who's a friend of mine who owns Tay Models, a local model shop. Any projects that we do have running will be put, well, most of them, I'm not saying them all, but they'll be on the Model Sport UK forum, which is msuk-forum.co.uk. My profile name, I guess, ID, whatever you want to call it, is Praetor87. Praetor being named after Praetor Phoenix from StarCraft, because that was awesome. I want to show you this car, first of all. I will be going over all of my models, not in much detail, but this one I wanted to tell you in most detail because it's my favourite car. I've had this one the longest, and it also brought me lots of success in national and club level competition. I used to race about just over 10 years ago. This is a Team Losi XXX-S touring sedan with a Hot Bodies Moor Speed Mazda 6 shell. It's very old fashioned compared to modern technology. As you have a look here, you can probably see this is a brushed motor, 27 ton stock. It is the fastest 27 ton stock motor that was made. The revenge of the Monster Pro, extremely high revving. And the speed controller is an M-Sonic 4 Dash, which is a forward only, no motor limit brushed ESC. You struggle to find these nowadays, but they're an exceptionally good speed controller, fully waterproof. And I used to swear by M-Tronic stuff. I still buy a lot of M-Tronic stuff. I had very little failures over the years, and I've bought dozens of them, so they seem pretty good. This is a Novak receiver, 40 megahertz system on this, so I'm not using the new 2.4 gig systems on this particular car. This is quite cool, this receiver, because you don't need a crystal, you just adjust these dials to match the frequency of the transmitter. These cars are absolutely phenomenal. They were incredibly successful when they first came out. Due in no short or no uncertain terms, is that the phrase? No uncertain terms, due to this amazing single belt drivetrain with oversized diffs. It's incredibly smooth, fully sealed, and amazingly efficient. I've spent a fortune on this car over the years, absolute fortune. You can see all the fancy red anodized parts, but also this used to be a fully plastic version. But as you can see here, quite a lot of it now is graphite. Over the years I've just been picking up graphite parts, graphite shock towers, etc. So it's a lot lighter than it was initially, although some of the parts are still plastic. I'm not really fussed. I actually still race this, not in any sort of official competition anymore. I started a local club about 4 years ago. This is our 5th year now. Just among friends. We just run this sort of thing, old technology, stock motors, or it doesn't have to be, just closely. We don't, the rules aren't too strict. Nickel metal hydride batteries, keeping the costs down but the fun up. There's about 8 of us, I think. I've been champion all 4 years so far. 2 years with this. I initially started off with my Tamiya TT01E because I was the only one that had ever done any previous racing, and it seemed unfair for me to jump straight into my race car, thrash everybody. So I started with the Tamiya. Everybody sort of slowly worked their way up, and now they've gotten that good that if I used the Tamiya, they'd kick my arse. So I use this. One thing I did want to show you, if you just bear with me. These are a couple of the trophies I won with this Losi back in the official racing days. I got the car in Christmas of 2002 to race in the 2003 and 2004 season. Now if you look here, you'll see that one says I came 4th in 2003. This one says I came 6th in 2004. So it looks like I have actually made a step back after 2003. But that isn't actually the case. I don't know how the person didn't pick up on this, but basically I came 6th both years. I didn't come 4th in 2003 at all. There was about 40 people roughly racing, and 25, maybe 30 regulars. And everybody got a trophy at the end of the year. It was one of these things like, if you have a school sports day, you tell the fat kids, everybody's a winner, because it makes them feel better. But in this case, it kind of was, because everybody got a trophy. So the club secretary ordered these trophies from some local place, I guess, and saying, I want the trophies to be like this: 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, etc. all the way up to number 40 or whatever it was, number trophies. So the trophies arrived and they said 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 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 all the way to number 40. So you must think, well, what did the guy do when he got the order? What did he think? Oh, if you look at this club, this RC club, it must be amazingly competitive. If you look here, 38 people or 36 people all came 4th, got the same points, amazingly competitive. Oh, it must be great to watch. So yeah, obviously next year he must have thought either, it's not so good a year this year, there's a big gap, nobody got the same points. Or more likely, I must have bossed it up last year. Anyway, who cares? I'm not going to lie about it, I didn't come 4th. Although my rival, he did come 4th, both years, he beat me. There's this other guy, younger than me, we were incredibly close when it comes to the racing. We would do 5-minute heats and literally be separated by hundredths of a second after 5 minutes. It was ridiculous. We had the same car, slightly different electronics, slightly different driving styles, but there was nothing in it. Unfortunately, he managed to get 4th when I came 6th because on the last round, I don't know how it worked because we were right together the entire year. Then somehow maybe the guy who was better than us missed one round, and then that was it. He got 4th, I got 6th, and there was a guy in the middle. Never mind. I think that's it for this introduction part. I'll just show you around my tiny little house, my 1-bedroom house, and yeah, enjoy. I'll show you a little tour. Thanks very much. First things first, I want to go and show you this. This is not a shelfer. I know it looks like a shelfer, but it's actually only about 30% of a Losi chassis, an old one. I just wanted to show off this Mercedes 190E 2.5 16 Evo 2 shell. And this is actually the reason I got back into RC after about a 10 or 12 years gap. I love 190s, absolutely adore them. I had 4 of them, I have 2 at the moment. One is a standard 1988 2 litre, and the other one is a 1988 Cosworth 2.3 16, which is not currently here, it's getting some engine work done. But I saw this on eBay and I thought, you know what, it's gorgeous, I want it. And I would have just bought the shell to put it on display, if I'm honest. But it was about 14 quid more to have it with a touring car. I thought, screw it, I might as well get the touring car, and that's what started. And this is the touring car. This is my Tamiya TT01E, running the same motor as the Losi, the old Revenge of the Monster Pro. That one's had a lot of upgrades. That's got, you know, fully adjustable suspension on it, Schumacher Racing shock absorbers, proper ball bearing diffs, ball bearing sets, anodized parts. So you'll see it another time, no problem, you'll see it in the future. This is one I've never ran. It's the only one of my models I've never ran. This is a Losi GRXS Type R. I'm planning to get back into competition with Matthew. He's running a TC5, associated TC5. That's going to be running a 13.5 turn brushless system with TK and RS speed controller. Never used it. I've not done it yet. I don't have all the equipment yet. We're going to start it sometime. We'll get there. As I say, Star Wars stuff. Death Star cookie jar it is. And my awesome Return of the Jedi lightsaber, which I broke on Boxing Day. It's cracked, so I can't use it anymore. Like I say, motorbikes. Big TV, that's just for my computer really, it's just some other Nintendo stuff. More motorbikes. There's my awesome 1977 genuine edition Stormtrooper helmet. It wasn't used in the film, which is why it's not worth £40,000, but it was made by the original maker who did them for the film. It has his maker's mark inside. Really smart. Was still very expensive, probably worth about £1,000 I would say. Around the living room here. This is a tiny little place, I say 1 bedroom. Yes, upstairs that way. Anyway, focus, damn it, focus. Darth Vader voice changer. There's my one thing, my one most prized possession, my Snoopy, which is older than me. I've had it since the day I was born, and if there was one thing I could save in a fire, it would be that. You can see he's neither the shape nor colour that Snoopy should be anymore. He was a well-loved thing. The boat, which I'm still working on, I'll get there eventually. This is a, smack the camera off the ground, good one. This is an HPI RS4 Rally. It's an old chassis. I've not had it for that long. I bought it second hand off a friend of mine who runs a model shop. That's Tay Models. You can go on their website, I'll put a link up. This is converted to rear wheel drive only because I wanted it to handle and go like the General Lee. Pretty awesome off-road rally wheels and tyres on it. Running brushed system, LiPo, 2-cell. Oh, by the way, the Tamiya is running 2-cell as well. The only one that isn't here is that, because we're trying to, the club that we do is trying to keep costs down, you know, and one way to do that is to run the old technology. Try to keep the fun up, costs down, basically. So there we are, rear wheel drive one. And then this is my front wheel drive. I converted that to front wheel drive. It's a HPI Sprint GTI. I really wanted to get a Citroen AX GT body shell made up by somebody. If anybody knows anybody I can like sort of get what's it called, vacuum formed or whatever, let me know, because that was my first car, you see, and I would love a little replica of it. There's my guitar, favourite band Metallica, as you can see, but I love loads of bands really. There's another Mercedes 192. That's the same colour as my Cosworth, my 2.316. That's quite cool. It's for any Metallica fans, just plectrums with all the same album designs. Rock music collection, some of anyway. Here's some of the trophies we've got. What's embarrassing is, let me just get the official ones. Here we are. This is a trophy used in, you know, given at an official club, and this is the ones that we've got for the club that I run myself and made. Slightly more impressive, that's slightly embarrassing. However, they are first place ones. I've won all 4 years so far, but It's getting closer, we're getting better. Maybe this year I'll get beaten, who knows. It'd be good to have a bit of competition, really. This is my Losi XXX-S running, I can't remember, 13 turn brushed motor. LiPo battery, you'll see these all. HPI Formula 10, I've spent a fortune on that and only ran it once. It's a pain in the arse actually, I'm trying to get it to handle right. Full bearing, upgrades, ball bearing differential, upgraded wheels and tyres. That's the Bridgestone Slicks soft compound, quite expensive. It's not handling right at the moment, I'll get there. This is a crawler I made. It was actually a scale truck I made from an old crawler. It was a Sedan racing or Sedan racing, which is basically a Maverick Scout, which is orange and has 4-wheel steering, but I've taken that off. This looks like crap because it's supposed to. It's literally all made of, you know, random parts that I already had, like scrap parts. This is the DIY scaler. I'm still tweaking it, which is why the wheels are off it just now. But it goes really well actually. I just need to get it finished. The drive shafts are binding a little bit. You have to excuse me here, this is washing, it's drying in front of the Aga. Try and squeeze between here. Tamiya lunchbox, yay! The sort of worst RC car in history, but the most fun, awesome little thing. Star Wars, Legends of Zelda and Metallica themed, great little thing. And there was another lunchbox which was a test tape by my dad. I wanted one for Christmas a few years ago, and I opened it up and found an actual radio controlled lunchbox. He thought it was hilarious. It works though, but I've blown the gearbox, never mind. We have Ansman Mad Rat, brilliant little thing with its pirate flag, which obviously adds about 150 scale horsepower, something like that. Running a Associated B4 body shell, Proline Dirt Hogs, great little thing. One of my favourites actually. Yeah. And Tamiya Hornet. Got big plans for the Tamiya Hornet. Project Mega Hornet. It'll happen. It'll happen. You'll have to wait and see. And upstairs to my bedroom. This is my retired model Losi High Roller. I spent probably triple its value at least trying to make it a good truck. It's impossible. This is probably the highest spec Losi High Roller on the planet. It had full brushless system, 2-cell LiPo, those awesome looking dark chrome wheels. It looks smart as anything. Tyres are really good on it. That's a Traxxas, what's it called? Stampede shell, Captain's Curse. And a Traxxas Stampede Swami wheelie bar, which I have adapted and bolted it onto the bottom of the Losi, as you can see. This truck was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. One of the biggest weaknesses is the front caster blocks. All the aluminium ones are sold out worldwide, unsurprisingly, because they always break. So I had about 7 plastic ones ordered and went through about 4 of them in a couple of weeks. But it's the drivetrain, the gearbox, it's horrendous, absolutely horrendous. I have spent a fortune upgrading this. I've made it all metal gears, everything. As standard, it came with a plastic idler gear between metal gears, which is a stupid idea, and the stock brush motor ripped it apart, as well as the little hex pins in here on the stock motor, bent them. So I've got some HPI heavy duty ones in there. I have the upgraded drive shafts, stainless steel or whatever, or well, they're steel anyway, it may not be stainless. It's had a whole new bearing set, including bearings that I had to get from an engineering firm, because the parts in the Losi book led to bearings with the wrong size. So that's how much they dropped the ball with this truck. They were completely just off key with this thing. I went through probably 5 of those heavy duty ball bearing diffs that they supplied, which had all metal parts apart from the housing that actually held the balls of the bearing in, and it melted and they would just get stuck and jam up the whole thing. It was useless. So I have eventually made it a bulletproof gearbox. It has full metal everything. And then when I ran it, the actual casing, this part, the plastic that whole hell houses it all, fell apart, just split open. So I said, right, one more time. I've rebuilt this thing probably dozens of times. One more time, and if it fails again, that's it. It's had it. and it failed again. The little tiny little pin that goes through the gears of the diff to hold them together snapped or has come loose. I have not taken it apart again. I've just literally taken all the equipment off it and said, right, you look good, stay there. Stupid thing. And we have my XXX-S CT. This is fantastic, this thing. Running 3-cell brushless system. Some proper, I can't remember what they're called. Trenchers, is it? Yeah, trencher tyres, they are. Really good stuff. They are expensive as hell, by the way. It's only rear wheel drive, so it's a bit of an animal. I've had to modify the shell a lot, cut holes in it and what have you. Remove the back panel here completely. Short course trucks, owners will know exactly what I'm talking about. It has this parachute effect. Can't jump for crap, they just catch air and float around and just be crap. Nothing like a buggy. So some shells have got nice designs now to try and combat that. But what you can do is cut slits here and the other side, some holes along the windscreen, that helps. Try and make it a little bit more, stable in the air, I guess. But this thing's supposed to be a racing short course truck only. And people say, you don't buy it for bashing, it's not strong enough, it's for racing. And I agree, it does handle incredible for a rear wheel drive short course truck. It will run circles around a slash, both the 2-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive versions. It'll run circles around it all day without breaking a sweat. However, not tough enough to bash? Bollocks. I have chucked this thing off of 30-foot jumps in quarries, landed on its roof, everything, and it never breaks. It's tough as anything. It's a brilliant truck, absolutely brilliant. I love this thing. Oh, another thing I did, just remembered, another thing I did for the high roller to try and make it strong, because everything failed. I mean, everything. There's not a single component in that thing that was tough. The only thing I'll say for it is it did jump really good, because of these really long travel shocks. I mean, look at that. It jumped like a beast. But anyway, the slipper clutch and the spur was crap, and so I fitted the slipper clutch system from one of these, Kevlar spur. I spent a fortune on this thing. A fortune on it. Sigh. I think that's them all now, actually. Probably. Can't think of any more. Yep, there's one more on the way. I'll just go downstairs. Bear with me. Yep, there's a very special model on the way. I won't give it away this video. You'll see it another time, probably next video or maybe the one after. I also have this thing here is a Sense Innovation ESS1, which is a module for making engine noises going through, which is lame as hell, I think, which is why it's going in the lunchbox, because it's funny. But it's faulty, it's not working, so I've contacted the seller and see if we can get another one. So we'll see how that goes. So there we are. This is my little world that I stay in. You'll notice recurring themes: motor racing, motorcycles, cars, Star Wars, and RC stuff. Reason being, my girlfriend doesn't love me. No, I'm sure she does love me. She doesn't live with me. So I get to do whatever I want. That's why my room looks like man cave or something. Back to the channel though, getting distracted. I think in the future we're looking at getting another 2-wheel drive monster truck, because Matthew has one and they're brilliant. My Losi high roller, as you saw, is completely retired. I might look into getting one of those Proline Pro MTs, which seem to be the best monster truck on the market at the moment. But you know what, I'm open to suggestions. I'm going to keep looking, because they are quite a lot of money. I know that HPI have got the new jump shot. Don't really like the look of the chassis myself, but I have seen one in the flesh and they're incredibly tough looking, so that might be worth a shout. We'll see. As I said, there's one other thing on the way. I won't spoil it now, but it is a beautiful thing. Beautiful model. And it's really worth catching up with us later on to have a look at that, so please do. In the meantime, thanks very much. It's been great fun, and hope to see you again. Cheers.